According to this record, Juanita flew to Honolulu with plans to meet her daughter, Victoria, who was already living in California and who intended to pay for her mother's ticket. Victoria is Darren's aunt, the first of his close relatives to come to America. But her journey was very different from her mother's. Victoria arrived in Detroit from Alberta, Canada, on a bus.
Would you please read that transcribed section?
This is so cool. Name Victoria B. Moneybay. Date of entry, July 1st, 1967. Means of entry, Greyhound bus. Naturalization date was November 17th, 1972.
By the way, Alberta and Detroit, 2,340 miles.
Yeah, those aren't close.
38 hours by car.
In a bus.
Greyhound
Greyhound
bus.
bus.
Greyhound bus. Darren, you have the distinction, we believe, to be the first guest in the history of the show who had a relative immigrate to the United States on a Greyhound bus.
That you know about. That you know about.
We would know.
You would know. You would know. Yeah, you'd have the ticket stub and everything. The bag of peanuts they ate on the bus. You guys are very thorough.
To quote Don King, only in America.
Only in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love how there's something very rock and roll about coming in America on a bus.
Victoria was just 25 years old when she crossed the border. And she was taking a huge chance, traveling all on her own with no safety net. But the gamble paid off. In 1974, Victoria wrote a letter for her mother's immigration file, detailing all she'd accomplished in America in just a few short years.
I'm the sole owner of a 3-bedroom townhouse with a total equity of $10,000 plus all furnishings. I'm financially able to support and defray all expenses for the coming and stay of my mother and can guarantee that my mother will not be a public charge to this country. What a badass.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. Yeah, she put in her work.
When this record was filed, your aunt had only been in the country for about 7 years and already owned a 3-bedroom home.
She don't mess around.
A car, was working as a nurse in a major hospital, had become a naturalized citizen, and had money in the bank.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's incredible.
And also, if you're doing the math here of how old she would have been and being the first of her family to come to this new country and to accomplish that quickly.
No, it's
pretty badass.
quite remarkable.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
We now wanted to see what Darren's family had left behind in the Philippines. What we uncovered was almost unrelentingly grim. His grandmother and aunt were both born on Leyte, an island that was devastated during World War II, leaving tens of thousands dead and disease and starvation running rampant. Fleeing the chaos, the family moved south, from Leyte to Cebu City, where Darren's mother would be born in 1952. But stability proved elusive. In the 1960s, the Philippines was riven by civil strife and economic turmoil, culminating with the declaration of martial law in 1972, just 2 years before Darren's grandmother decided to immigrate.